Hey folks, I hope you are all having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us today at Reconvene. I just wanted to let you know that I'll be doing a quick 30-minute presentation today on marketing challenges in Eventbrite Boost. Super excited to introduce this to all of y'all. Just to let you know in advance, we'll be going over and talking over a lot of different things today. So I would highly encourage you, please use the QA section on the right. If you guys have questions, we'll be doing a QA at the end to address all your questions, as I know y'all will inevitably have some. But thank you so much. I wanted to say we sincerely appreciate all of you. We know your time is extremely valuable. You cover a lot of different hats as event creators and event promoters. So we just wanted to sincerely thank all of you for tuning in today. And we hope you come away with some wonderful takeaways of how to better market your events approaching event marketing in 2021. Perfect. So let's go ahead and first jump into it. So guys, before I launch into my presentation today, I'd love to quickly introduce myself. My name is Sam Jameson. I'm a new face over here on the Eventbrite Customer Success and Eventbrite Boost team. Over the past few years, I've had the absolute pleasure of helping thousands of event promoters and event coordinators all over the world, from events both big and small, bring people together and sell out their events using digital advertising over at a company that many of you may be familiar with, a company named ToneDen. For those of you that are unfamiliar with ToneDen, we are a digital marketing software automation tool, and we've strived to make digital marketing easier and more accessible for event and music creators worldwide. And if you weren't aware, over the past fall of last year, ToneDen officially became part of the Eventbrite family, and we couldn't be more excited about it. ToneDen and Eventbrite have always felt like lock and key, and it's our absolute pleasure to be able to combine forces to better empower creators like yourself to take marketing into your own hands and market your events. So jumping into it, ultimately, growing your events is very, very difficult. Event creators want to grow their business. We've conducted countless studies about event creators and asked y'all what you would like to achieve. And one of the top responses that we hear time and time again is that you ultimately want to grow your business. You want to expand your reach to find new attendees who've been searching for an event just like yours, so you can share your passions to those that are able to experience it. But in most cases, we know it's really difficult to actually market your events. Out of all the surveys that we've had with the majority of event creators and event promoters, we've got a wide variety of different responses of why we struggle with marketing. And I personally want to empathize with all of you. Is when I first started marketing myself, it sometimes felt like going into the chip aisle in the grocery store. You see a million different chips and you don't ultimately know where to begin. So we definitely want to acknowledge and make it clear with all of you that we do understand that event marketing is really difficult. Y'all have so many different hats that you fulfill in your job descriptions, creating and promoting events, that marketing ultimately, sometimes it can feel like you don't understand what's working. You might not have the money to use some of the complex solutions, or ultimately you just might not have enough time in the day to actually pursue marketing. And ultimately, guys, marketing really isn't easy. So we'd love to dive into some of the ways with Eventbrite Boost, we have created an amazing all-in-one solution to really help you tackle marketing for your events. And a few reasons why event marketing is really difficult. Most of the best-in-class tools are either too expensive or weren't built for the average Joe like you and I. They were built for somebody with a Harvard MBA that has these massive budgets and a really big amount of time to actually allocate to event marketing or their marketing campaigns, which most of us don't find ourselves in that same position. Because ultimately, we're responsible for so many other things in our organization and for marketing our events that ultimately, at the end of the day, we might not have enough time to ultimately learn new skills and tools. And lastly, marketing can feel really fragmented and separated from one another. A lot of times we're using multiple tools that live in different places, that we all have different data sets that we're trying to understand. So a lot of times it can feel like our marketing efforts are very decentralized and we're spending a lot of time going to different places. And this quote that we have here from one of our event creators, I feel really drives the point home of how a lot of us feel about marketing. Hashtag turn data into sales. That's the dream. I want to do that, but I have no I want to do that, but I have no idea how to do that. I don't have the time to learn or execute something differently. I don't understand the tools, or I'm priced out of them. It's a nice idea, but it's simply out of reach for me. And we over here at Eventbrite empathize with your struggles that many of you have encountered in marketing and would ultimately like to present you with the solution that should make marketing substantially less intimidating and easier for you, whether you're working with free events where you don't have very big budgets to promote them, or you're working with larger events where you actually have budget to promote it. We wanted to build an all-in-one solution for all of you that can help you market your events. So our vision was deliver a suite of tools that helps event creators not only sell more tickets, but grow their audiences and actually optimize their marketing spend within one central hub. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce Eventbrite Boost to all of you. This is the latest marketing solution brought to you by Eventbrite that now lives within the marketing tab on Eventbrite's website as an all-in-one place for you to handle all of the different marketing needs that you need for your events. We really wanted to build a platform that's suitable for creators of all different experience levels and marketing budgets so that you can ultimately find something that will be really impactful for you driving and creating sales for your events. And ultimately, we've really tried to take a wide variety of platforms that many of us use to promote our events, such as Facebook and Instagram marketing, Google advertising, email, and create one centralized area where you're managing your events and also helping market your events within the same place. So major reach, minor effort, all in one centralized tool that we will now be jumping into a quick little demo to actually show you guys this project in action. We'll be going far more in depth onto the other features of this shortly, but please feel free to ask questions within the QA as well. We can go ahead and start up our video here. So perfect. We're starting off today. We're beginning in the Manage Events view. We're looking at the average account of the Eventbrite creator who manages many different events. On top of managing their events, with limited time, we still need to market our events. We need to figure out how to find our audience and reach our audience and make sure that they're registering and buying tickets. Marketing is a very crucial component of our marketing strategies. And the new thing that you will notice in the platform is this new marketing tab up in the top left-hand corner, where you will now find Eventbrite Boost. As event coordinators, it can be really challenging to have the bandwidth and time to market our event successfully, and oftentimes we're paying for many different tools that live in many different places. So we ultimately wanted to create a solution that houses all of the marketing tools in one easy place in the exact same area where you manage your events. You'll see a couple familiar different tools that many of you that have already been using Eventbrite are familiar with, such as add your event to Facebook and send an email campaign, as well as a couple new tools that I'm extremely excited to share with y'all today. So the first tool I'd like to talk about is the add your event to Facebook tool. Facebook events are one of the best free ways that you can leverage, especially in 2021, to market your upcoming events, as well as increase awareness and social proof for your upcoming events. It's extremely simple to select one of your events that you've created on Eventbrite, and within a few clicks, publish that event to Facebook to make a very nice professional looking Facebook event. Now, within this section, it's very, very easy for you to create these events, as well as manage the different events, such as if you need to remove or edit one of the events that you've created, as well as view that event on Facebook to get better information on who's registering. Eventbrite's add to Facebook function makes it extremely easy with embedded checkout for fans to actually purchase via that event. But if they're not ready to purchase, they're at least hitting interested or going in your event. So I'd highly encourage, if you're not taking advantage of the add your event to Facebook tool, we'd love for you to try it out. The next component that some of you Eventbrite creators are probably already familiar with is the send an email campaign function. Now, this is a function that's fantastic for you to create customizable email campaigns to actually get your upcoming events in front of new prospects, as well as contact those that have been repeated buyers for your events. It's a very easy section to manage professional looking email campaigns while also managing your subscriber list. And all we have to do to create a new email campaign is effectively type out a name for our campaign. And this will take us to a wonderful interface that allows you to very easily customize a professional looking email to send out to your potential attendees. Very, very customizable. You can include more than one event if you'd like to. Change registration buttons to allow fans to RSVP within this section. Very, very customizable, and hopefully it's a very nice interface for you if you haven't tried email marketing before to begin contacting your customers and prospects. And ultimately, incorporating email marketing with another strategy like Facebook ads or add your event to Facebook is a fantastic strategy for you to do, even if you're working with limited budgets for marketing your events. And additionally, we know reporting and understanding your functionality for email campaigns can be very tedious. So we've tried to package all of this in one nice and easy place so that you can understand the most important metrics for the campaigns that you are running. Next, we would like to jump into basically my wheelhouse that I've been working with for the last 3 or 4 years, which is our advertise on Facebook and Instagram, bringing the power of Toned directly into Eventbrite so we can leverage very powerful Facebook and Instagram ad campaigns. Now, half the battle to spinning up a good ad campaign is simply running the right campaign at the right time. And what we've created with Eventbrite Boost that you may notice here, this is what we call the sales curve. And it's a tool that helps pull data from your Eventbrite events to help you understand when you actually sell tickets for your event. We've learned this from hundreds of thousands of different event campaigns. All you have to do is simply use the dropdown to select the event that you would like to advertise. And based on where you are in your sales cycle and how your customers normally purchase, we'll recommend the right campaign for you to run. And we'll dive a little bit more into that in depth a little bit later. We've also understood that Facebook marketing can be very difficult to understand from a data perspective. So we've really tried to make a nice trimmed down UI that helps you understand the most important metrics that actually give you feedback on how you're selling tickets, how your fans are registering in one nice and easy place. Additionally, we have what are called playbooks. Think of these as prepackaged campaigns that help you accomplish a specific purpose, as well as a wide variety of free smart link tools that you can use to promote things like upcoming live streams of yours or create branded pages that actually help you counter some of the changes that Facebook has introduced, such as the iOS 14 updates. We've got some awesome stuff in here for advanced marketers as well. And lastly, the new feature that we have in Eventbrite as well is the Grow on Instagram feature. This is an extremely easy way for you to spin up Instagram story campaigns to help grow your brand's presence and actually sell tickets on the Instagram Stories platform. It's a great way that you can grow your brand, get in front of new individuals in your area that might be prospective ticket buyers down the road. And we try to make it very simple for you to actually understand how your marketing dollars are translating to results, such as the followers that you're gaining or ticket sales that you might potentially influence via these campaigns that you are running. And that pretty much is the conclusion of the brief overview. And then we'll dive into these features a little bit more in depth. Perfect, thank you so much. So moving into, let's begin to talk about the features within Eventbrite Boost that allow you to build your brand. These are all features that have no cost involved whatsoever. Even if you don't have a marketing budget to allocate to your upcoming events, these are all amazing free tools that we would highly, highly recommend you take advantage of if you haven't been leveraging these already. The first feature that we talked about are the Add to Facebook event feature, which easily allows you to create a Facebook event for your upcoming Eventbrite event that you've already published. Now, from our findings, Facebook event RSVP campaigns are a fantastic solution. So we would highly recommend creating a Facebook event, as if individuals aren't currently ready to make a purchase for your event, understandable coming after our last year that we have all encountered. We all come to things that are on different paces. At least if they are interested in your event, it's extremely easy for them to RSVP to your upcoming event. So they're constantly getting notifications about the upcoming changes to your event or actually getting a little bit closer. And it's a great way to also make it very accessible for people to purchase if they are ready to purchase. So I'd highly recommend, if you aren't taking advantage of Facebook events, it's one of the best tools that you can be using at a very, very free cost and a very, very limited amount of time involved to help promote your upcoming events. The next one that we had talked about was the email campaign function. Normally, when you are combining email campaigns with something like a Facebook event or Facebook or Instagram advertising, the more places where individuals are seeing your upcoming event, it only increases the likelihood that they'll retain the information about your event and they'll be more likely to actually attend your event. So definitely, if you haven't been taking advantage of the customized email campaigns as well, please take advantage of those, as having a good frequency of individuals knowing about your event and being in great communication on what's upcoming is a great way to help keep your brand presence and keep individuals tied into your upcoming events. And lastly, we also have additional branding pages within our Facebook and Instagram ad platform that you can use to create smart links to promote things like upcoming live streams that you have, upcoming tours, and ways that we can use Eventbrite's embedded checkout to help you overcome some of the recent challenges that things like iOS 14 have posed. And let's skip over to the next slide here, diving into the ways of Eventbrite Boost that will help you save time creating your ad campaigns. Ultimately, from our findings and the thousands of different event promoters that I've worked with, helping teach them how to successfully market their events with Facebook and Instagram advertising, the biggest pitfall that many of us run into is we simply run the wrong campaign at the right time. And Facebook Ads Manager wasn't a platform that was designed for event promoters like us to really easily understand what we should actually be running. So basically what we've done is we've taken all of the learnings that we found across hundreds of thousands of ad campaigns and actually automated it into the platform. So all you simply need to do is use the dropdown to select the upcoming event. We can help present a graph to you that helps you understand how your events actually sell, when your customers are most likely to purchase, and based on where you are in your sales cycle, recommend a campaign based on your past data that will get you the best effectiveness out of your advertising dollars that you've spent. This has been a long time in the works, and we're extremely excited, as it really should help take the level of expertise that it normally requires to build Facebook ads and really make it accessible to individuals that might have tried Facebook in the past and felt a little bit overwhelmed by it, or individuals that really are eager to market their events and are looking for a digital solution here. Now, within the next section, going back to the quote that we had heard earlier, I would like to, she was saying that I would like to know how I can translate my sales data that I've effectively acquired into selling tickets down the road. And a lot of you event creators are actually sitting on a gold mine of past purchaser data. You've had so much information about how individuals have purchased for your events. And normally when we go to build an ad campaign in Facebook initially, the types of audiences that normally get us the best returns out of the campaigns that we're running normally feel a little bit inaccessible. I could almost use the analogy of HelloFresh, the food delivery service. A lot of times when we're building an ad campaign, it might feel like we're going to the grocery store to purchase different items, get our ingredients, and then we have to worry about cooking the meal. With Eventbrite Boost, when you are creating your campaigns, it's extremely easy to build audiences off of your past Eventbrite purchaser data with the simple click of a couple buttons, or easily market to anybody that's previously attended in the past. These are audiences that are relatively time-consuming to build, and a lot of us don't know that they're actually available. We've built an amazing UI that makes it accessible to newer advertisers as well as advanced advertisers that would like to save a little bit of time of how to really easily target your past purchasers and leverage the data that you've acquired to help you go after brand new individuals that are most likely to purchase. So ultimately, you can think about it that we're diversifying the audience strategy that we're using, just so that if one of the audiences we use doesn't end up performing as well, we have other audiences that will back up the performance. Now, tracking in real time, a lot of us, when we've run campaigns on Facebook before, we're looking at these reporting interfaces for the various marketing tools that we're using. A lot of times it feels like a little bit of a maze trying to understand that data. Personally, when I first started running campaigns, it almost felt like I was throwing paint at the wall and hoping it would stick and hoping I get a result out of it. So what we've tried to do with Eventbrite Boost is really redesign a UI that is substantially more friendly for event creators so that you can understand how your marketing dollars are actually translating into the things that are most important for you, like driving ticket sales, RSVPs for your upcoming event, or various things like engagement-related purposes. So here is a brief example of the reporting within our UI. It's substantially more friendly, and this is actually a campaign run by one of our great customers, the Lincoln Park Zoo. They were running a Facebook event campaign helping promote their Facebook event that they had added to Facebook via Eventbrite Boost's add to Facebook function. And this was an amazing campaign that ended up performing really well. And you can see that we've highlighted the most important data to actually help you understand how your marketing dollars are going to work. We can see how much we've spent, we can see how much we've made back in a return, and we can see other important metrics like how many people have RSVP to our event. And we go substantially more in depth into this data as well. This is just a brief screenshot. And ultimately, when it comes to setting up Facebook ad campaigns, after you've set up the campaign, there ultimately are a lot of other things that you could do to help you get the most out of your budget. What really advanced marketers might do is if we spin up a Facebook campaign, we might constantly be monitoring the campaign, see if one of the audiences isn't performing as well, and then move budget over to another audience that's performing better. We could completely use a stock portfolio analogy that sometimes you might take money away from an industry or a vertical that's not performing as well and allocate it back over to something that is performing better. That's exactly what we do with the audiences within your campaign when you set up campaigns within Eventbrite Boost. So if you have a couple different audiences, our system has created our own unique version of budget optimization based on how thousands of different event promoter campaigns have been ran through our platform. And ultimately, it learns from the campaigns and ways your customers end up purchasing so that when you set up your campaign, you can rest easy knowing that we're getting the best usage out of your budget by every 6 to 12 hours, shifting budget from a poorly performing audience to one that's performing better for your objective. So ultimately, without you having to worry about constantly managing your campaigns, keeping an eye on it, you can rest easy and know that your marketing dollars are going to the best audiences that are most likely to convert at the cheapest cost for you. Oops, and let's go ahead and dive into the video as well. To give you a little bit of context here, we had actually ran ads promoting the event you are all watching today. I had created campaigns using Eventbrite Boost. So you can see here, we had the sales data. We were around a week out from the event. So we'd use that drop down to help get a recommendation from Eventbrite Boost of what type of campaign should we be running in this period, which we ultimately ran a campaign that was sending people straight to our ticketing pages for them to purchase. So normally in this first step, we're automatically suggesting an objective for you. You've already chosen your event. So normally you don't have to do anything here, but you also have control if you want to send people to a different link other than your Eventbrite event, or run another type of campaign such as an RSVP or engagement style ad. But normally you'll hit this step and you actually won't have to do anything. Make sure you got the right event selected and hop over to the next step. Within this step, we're simply choosing what's the ad account or kind of card we would like to pay for the campaign with, and then what page will we like the ad to run from. Normally, those will be pretty consistent across most of your campaigns. Within the next section, we are simply entering in the location targeting, and it's very easy for us to pull locations from past ads that you've ran as well. So we've designed this tool that the more ads you build in this platform, the easier it will be for you to continue to spin up campaigns. Now we've designed a couple different versions of the targeting audience interface, depending on how familiar you are with Facebook ads, so that you can successfully create a campaign that really easily covers all your bases simply by filling out a few boxes. But if you're a more advanced advertiser, we have tons of options for you as well. So all we are simply doing here is typing in the most common type of targeting that many of you that might have built Facebook ads before are familiar with, which is what's called interest targeting. For marketing the Reconvene event, we were trying to go after individuals interested in events, live events, digital marketing. So effectively, when you're building your campaign, all we're doing in this section is typing out a couple different interests, behaviors, or demographics related to our event. And then once we've ended up entering a couple interests within this section, we can actually use data to help suggest similar interests or similar things that people might like for you to target with your campaign. So we've really tried to take the complexity of the Facebook ad interface that can seem a little bit intimidating when you're building campaigns to make something very sleek where you're successfully covering all your bases without having to worry about the manual work it takes to build a lot of these different audiences. So simply, I just created an audience here where I was targeting many people interested in events, live events, people in the digital marketing space. And simply past that, we automatically include an audience of people that interact with you on Facebook or interact with your Facebook events. Another reason why you should be using the Add to Facebook tool is anybody that interacts with your events, you could remarket to, but you can also easily target people that interact with you on Instagram or other remarketing methods as well. Now, what you're actually looking at here is I'd actually used a far more complex mix of audiences for this campaign. So this is for you advanced marketers out there. It's really easy for us to build audiences off of our past purchaser data, such as I'm adding in an audience right here, targeting people that were similar to those that bought in the past, which normally this audience sometimes takes around 5 minutes to create. If you build it on your own, we built it here in the platform within the click of 2 buttons. So those of you that use custom audiences or lookalikes, more advanced advertisers, we built out a tool that should make it accessible to you regardless of your experience level. And you can actually easily save mix of audiences as sets, which you can see here. I pulled in a very complicated audience mix that I'd made beforehand. So instead of having to reinvent the wheel every time I go to build a new campaign, I'm simply pulling in my past work and I might be done with the hardest step within seconds. And beyond that, it's fairly easy spinning up your campaign where simply low as $1 a day. It doesn't have to be a major budget, but the more you spend, the more you reach, and just normally the better impact you would get for your ad campaigns. And the last step of actually creating your ad is just building the ad copy. This is what individuals will see on Facebook and Instagram when they come across your ad. You can see that we actually automatically pulled in the image associated with our Eventbrite event. So if that's the one you want to roll with, you might not have to add anything extra. But if you are a marketer that would like to learn more about what types of creatives actually work and resonate well with my fan base, it's very easy for us to add in additional images or videos so we can actually A/B test a couple different things within our campaign. And then Facebook will figure out which one's working better and showcase that to the people that are seeing your ads. You can always A/B test any of the different components or even customize your creatives if you have very nice looking images or videos that are specifically designed for Instagram stories. So a lot of customization here if you want to take it to a deeper level, but it's ultimately very simple. We pull in a lot of automated information based on the date of your event, the location of your event to help you craft and build an ad copy, but feel free to change this to your liking and bring your own flavor and personality of your brand into that as well. And ultimately, guys, that is the last setup step of building the campaign. I know we went through this a little bit quickly. We also have tons of tutorials on our website that talk over all of this in more depth and give you the context of why we even recommend making certain recommendations in the first place. So guys, just wanted to give you kind of a brief overview of how to build campaigns. We've tried to build an interface that's accessible for both newer advertisers as well as advanced advertisers alike, so everybody can find something that fits for them. Now, to share a couple key takeaways that I actually found from the ad campaigns that we ran, by using Eventbrite Boost in our final marketing push, we were able to drive over 300 event registrations for Reconvene at around a 10 to 15% lower cost than we had initially expected. So it was a great way. We were all extremely busy doing everything that you normally do to put on events. So we wanted a simple solution to build an ad campaign that we didn't really have to worry about manually checking it and automating the performance. So we had also found that it was a very timely and cost-effective way for us to include audiences such as those that had purchased in the past or go after those that were similar to register, audiences that we weren't actually including in our strategy before that really made the difference in terms of us actually driving attendees and registrations at a cheaper cost. And Moose really helped eliminate the guesswork for us of helping us run the right campaign at the right time based on the sales curve feature, which we recommend running a campaign straight to your ticketing pages. But ultimately, if I would have had a couple things I could have done better as well personally, I didn't leverage the add to Facebook event function. So it would have been very helpful for us to have a Facebook event that people could register as well. So I'd ultimately love to give you a little information of ways that you can learn from the things that I have done so that you can better up your strategy. The number one thing that I would have done differently was use the add to Facebook function to easily publish a Facebook event to help grow brand awareness, help grow social proof and engagement for my upcoming event. Now, ultimately, we have a few more tools within the platform as well. If you are looking for new ways to reach new people and grow your brand, we have a few free tools, such as easy to create contests that allow you to, at a very low cost, maybe the only thing that's costing you is the ticket that you're giving away or a merch item, to allow you to capture the emails of people that are interested in entering your contest, so you can add those to your email marketing campaigns or incorporate those in your Facebook ads. And also incentivize individuals to share that event with their friend to help you build social proof and get in front of new people at a very low cost. And if you are an event creator that's looking to actually put a little bit more paid spend into marketing and growing your brand, we have an awesome tool called the Instagram Growth Playbook. It's a very simple to create Instagram story campaign that helps you get in front of new people on a platform of discovery such as Instagram stories, so that new individuals can begin to familiarize themselves with your brand, take a look at your upcoming events, and hopefully buy a few tickets and attend a few of your events as well. So we have a lot of really cool tools, regardless of your experience level, regardless of the marketing budgets that you're working with. So we really hope that you can find something that really means a lot to your marketing strategy, that is very digestible for you to use, so that you can begin to incorporate it and better sell tickets for your upcoming events. Now, briefly, I'm not going to talk too in depth on this, as I know this is a topic that is a little bit more complex, but many of you, even on the news that might not have been familiar with Facebook advertising, might have heard about the recent changes with Apple's rollout of iOS 14, one of the new updates on their operating system. And basically, the major impact that this caused for many of us in the marketing space was the tools and mechanisms that we used to rely on to see sales data in our campaigns. So we could know we spent $10 on an ad campaign, we made $50 back worth of sales. They were actually significantly impacted, as many Apple iOS users now have opted out of privacy tracking. So ultimately, Eventbrite Boost is continuously evolving, and we're continuously trying to tackle the new challenges that are presented to us in the ever-changing digital space every day. One of the newest examples of how we've tackled that is via something called offline conversion tracking. It may seem like a complicated word, but basically all it is, it's a very easy way that Eventbrite can communicate with Facebook to help you tie back purchases that come as a result from your ad campaign, so you can know how much you're spending and how much you're actually making back. This is an extremely awesome feature that we're really excited about, as many people in the events industry have been struggling to actually get sales data back for their campaigns. And Eventbrite Boost is one of the only tools right now that makes this extremely easy for you to actually do for your campaigns. And for you advanced marketers out there, we also have additional solutions for you if you're looking to get back to the conversion style ads that you normally ran, a special type of Facebook ad that many of us in the event space ran. We ultimately have solutions that will help you tackle the newest and latest issues at hand, so you can get back to doing things the way you normally did them. Awesome, guys. And pretty much that concludes the majority of the presentation here. If you would love to learn more, we would definitely encourage you to visit Eventbrite Boost within the tab, start poking around, discover all the amazing features that we have in there. We also have an amazing help center that we have that has video tutorials on basically everything in the platform to help guide you and walk you through the processes. We ultimately know it's a lot of information. Marketing can be hard for a lot of us. Personally, to even give you the context of where I started, 3 years ago, I was doing concert photography and multimedia digital marketing within an Eventbrite venue, the UC Theater up in the Bay Area. And I really didn't have much marketing experience where I first started. And ultimately, it really means a lot for me to be speaking here to all of you today, as I want to encourage you, if marketing was challenging for you or it wasn't your cup of tea, we've really tried to design something that anybody, regardless of their experience level, can begin to jump in and understand. So I'd highly recommend, if you are feeling that marketing was a little bit overwhelming, we're here to help you together, and we're here to create a solution to evolve over time to tackle all of your latest challenges. And now we will be jumping over to the QA. I know we covered a lot of information here, so thank all of you for going through the information. Definitely, we want to answer a couple questions that we have in here as well. So let me take a quick second to pop into some of your questions. Awesome. Is there a separate webinar available on the Eventbrite that specifically goes into this new function? So we're, in the next couple of weeks, actually going to be rolling out a webinar series to go way more in depth onto all of these various things. And additionally, if you have suggestions of topics that are important for you like to cover, it's a two-way street. We'd always love to hear from you how we can better empower you as creators to understand this data, feel like you're making strides in improving your marketing plan and your capabilities. So we'll be rolling out an amazing webinar series that I will be hosting, and a few other members of my team, to help cover some of the complexities of advertising and actually give you some walkthroughs, give you some real examples, and hopefully down the road even maybe have QA sessions where we can help address anything that's struggling. And then let's jump into the next question. But Aaron, thank you very much for your question. I sincerely appreciate you. It looks like we have a question from Zuri here. What platforms can you advertise on using Eventbrite Boost? Is it only Facebook and Instagram? Are there other advertising platforms that we can advertise to? Fantastic question, Zuri. So the primary capabilities of Eventbrite Boost are with Facebook and Instagram advertising, and we also have basic Google search and display campaigns. So if you ever deal with scalpers for your events, or you're looking for a Google campaign to help promote your events, basically running Google search and display ads is a very, very simple way. We have a nice automated campaign creation process for there as well. So we primarily deal with Facebook and Instagram advertising and other data management and acquisition tools, but we also have a limited amount of Google advertising in the platform as well. So Zuri, thank you very much for your question. I really appreciate you asking that as well. And then we have a question from Rebecca Lyons as well. Do you know if there are any issues using the customized email function with GDPR rules in the EU? Fantastic question. All of our email components are completely GDPR compliant. I don't know if there's another member of my team that could give you more information on that as well, but definitely please feel free to reach out to us if you would like more information on that as well, if I can't give you the best information on our call today. Perfect. And then we have a question from Samantha as well. Does Eventbrite Boost work? Oops, we have a couple different questions coming in here. So we got Aaron, we got Zuri, we got Rebecca. How do you add ticket sales to a Facebook page? We were using Event Bistro and that doesn't work anymore. So adding ticket sales to a Facebook page, normally we'd recommend using the add to Facebook event function. With that add to Facebook function, you can use Eventbrite's embedded checkout to allow fans to extremely easily purchase for your upcoming events via that checkout flow. So it's very, very easy for people to be registering to your upcoming events if they're not quite ready to make that purchase, but then using the add to Facebook integration, leveraging that ticket purchasing functionality that fans can very easily purchase within those events as well. Another question from Zuri that we have here. The new iOS update forces people to confirm their domain for conversion ads. If we are trying to advertise an event on Eventbrite, how can we do conversion campaigns? Fantastic question. This has been one of the biggest questions that our experienced advertisers have been asking us. So thank you very much for asking that question. We have a couple different solutions for you. The first is you still can run ads as link clicks, put your Facebook tracking pixel on your ticketing pages if you normally used to. And when you create a campaign in our platform, we'll prompt you to accept something called offline conversion tracking. That is an awesome way that Eventbrite can communicate with Facebook to help capture that data that might not be captured via the pixel. But if you really want to get back to running conversion campaigns, we have a couple different solutions that we have a lot more information on our website about of how to actually use Eventbrite's self-serve tool with something like our event links feature or a website that leverages Eventbrite embedded checkout on a domain that you could verify so you could run those ads. So Zuri, this is definitely a topic that we have been paying a lot of attention to, and we already have solutions available. So please feel free to reach out to us if you have a few more questions on that as well. Cool. And then a question from Samantha. Does Eventbrite Boost work with Eventbrite Studio? Samantha, I'm actually not as familiar with Eventbrite Studio myself. I don't know if there's any other members of my team that could help answer that question for you, but if we can't answer that today, please feel free to reach out to us. I would love to get you an answer for that question. Thank you so much. You guys, please feel free to answer questions. We have a little bit of time left, and I would love to address anything, as I know we've covered a lot today. Has this rolled out international? We got a question from Ronan here. Thank you so much. Has this rolled out international, or will it take a little while to get to Ireland? Thank you. Thank you for your time as well. Your time is extremely valuable, and thank you for participating and asking questions as well. I believe currently we've only primarily rolled this out to English-speaking countries like Australia, Canada, Australia, but I can get you more information too on our timeline for us rolling this out to a wider geo as well. But thank you very much for asking a question, Ron. I sincerely appreciate it. And we got a few more questions rolling in. Jack Truman, on the email campaign feature, are you able to upload Excel email files to mass email? That's a fantastic question. If I can't answer that question for you today, please feel free to reach out and get us more context. But I believe you should be able to upload that CSV as an attendee list to reach out to individuals that you have previously acquired their emails. But I'm not entirely sure on that. If there's any of my other team members that might be able to clarify that better, please feel free to jump in or ask us that question a little bit later on down the road so we can get you a real solid answer on that one. Question from Ben Sanchez. Thank you so much. Will Eventbrite Boost have an integration or functionality with MailChimp or Constant Contacts platforms? So currently within the Facebook and Instagram ad feature, we actually have an integration with MailChimp that allows you to easily build audiences off of the data that you have housed on MailChimp. So let's say, for example, you had a specific segment of ticket buyers that you wanted to remarket to, or use that data to help go after a lookalike. That's an audience on Facebook where you just target people that are similar to those that might have bought from you in the past or those that are on your mailing list. We have an integration that easily allows you to build audiences with that. And we currently don't have anything for Constant Contact, but that's the only capability that we have for the MailChimp integration at the moment. Thank you so much. Just looking, we have a few more questions here as well. Guys, we have a little bit of time left, so please feel free to ask questions. Definitely want to make sure we get any of yours addressed. I know we covered a significant amount of information today, and marketing, definitely, there's a lot of intricacies to it. So please feel free to ask questions if you have them. We'll give it one more quick second. Anybody have any last questions to ask here as well? We'll just give it one more quick second here. But thank all of you so much. We sincerely appreciate you taking the time. I know many of you wear so many different hats. You have so many other responsibilities. So it sincerely means a lot to us in the Eventbrite family for you to be spending your time here with us today, learning about marketing and asking questions as well. So thank all of you so much. I think this should be a good place to call it if anybody doesn't have any more questions. Thank you all very much for joining in. And we're so excited to be rolling this platform out to all of you and being able to continuously evolve it to make your life easier as a marketer and help you get your events in front of the people that are actually there to experience them. So thank you so much, guys. I believe that will conclude our QA for this. And if you would like to learn more, please feel free to visit eventbrite.com/boost to get more information. And we also will be doing upcoming webinars within the few weeks. So if you have any suggestions for things that you'd like us to cover, please let us know. But thank all of you so much for your time. We sincerely appreciate it. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day and enjoy all of the rest of the speakers here at Reconvene.